Hello, good morning. Today's topic is regarding graph theory. The basic concepts of graphs, isomorphism and subgraphs, trees and their properties, spanning tree and binary trees. So graphs. A graph is a diagram of points and lines connected to the points. It has at least one line joining at a set two vertices with no vertex self-connecting. So a line is a point is a particular position in one dimensional, two dimensional or three dimensional diametrical space. For a better understanding, a point can be denoted by a number and it can be represented by a dot. So a dot is nothing but a point, and this point will have a number. A line is a connection between 2 points. It can be represented with solid line. 1 and 2 are the two different points, and these 2 points are connected with so many number of points. And a graph G is a set of vertices V and a set of edges E. The set V is a finite non-empty set of vertices. The set E is a set of pairs of vertices representing edges. So V is the vertices, E is the edges, G is the graph. G equal to V comma E. V of G is equal to vertices of graph G. E of G equal to edges of graph G. So these are the major terms: vertex, edge and graph. To generate a graph we need vertex as well as edges. A vertex is a point where multiple lines meet. It is also called as a node. So an edge is a mathematical term for a line that connects two vertices. Many edges can be formed to form a single vertex. Without a vertex, an edge cannot be formed. There must be a starting vertex and an ending vertex of an edge. Here as an example 1, 2 we given. 1, 2 are joined with a line that is considered as E1, that is a edge. Now we are going to discuss about the cyclic graph. A cyclic graph is a path containing at least 3 vertices such that the starting and ending vertices are the same. If you take a triangle 1, 2, 3, square and a pentagon. A graph is a general classified as undirected graph. Here it is a undirected graph, another is the directed graph. Here undirected graph there is no arrow marks from one. Here if an edge between any two nodes is not directionally oriented, a graph is referred as an undirected graph. And here an undirected graph is shown in the figure where 1 to 2 we can travel from 1 to 2 or 2 to 1, or 2 to 3 or 3 to 2, 3 to 4 or 4 to 3, 1 to 4 or 4 to 1, like that. Here V of G equal to E of G, where the graph is given by the coordinates V of G equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, E of G equal to 1, 1, comma 2, 2, 1, comma 4, 2, comma 1, 2, comma 3, 3, comma 2, 3, comma 4, 4, comma 3, 4, comma 1, like that. And the edges are E1, E2, E3 and E4. In the graph it's shown the vertices V1 to V2. The line traveled is considered as an edge E1. The vertices V2 to V3, the line traveled is considered as an edge V2, and the vertices V3 to V4, the line traveled is considered as the edge V3, and V4 to V1, the edge is called as V4. So it is an undirected graph. Next comes to the directed graph. Here directed graph 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The arrow marks are shown for the flow of direction, where 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 6 and 6 to 7. The arrow marks are showing the direction. So this is about the directed graph. The main difference between the directed graph and undirected graph is undirected graph there won't be any direction. Bidirectional it can move. So now the direction graph, If an edge between the two nodes is directionally oriented, a graph is referred as a directed graph or digraph. So here direction graph is nothing but an edge, it should move from 1 to 2. Here an example, 1 to 2 it moved, 2 to 3. 1 to 2 which moved is called as E1, edge E1. Then 2 to 3 it is edge E2. 3 to 4 edge E3. 4 to 5 edge E4. 5 to 6 edge E5. And 6 to 7 edge E6. So these are the graphs. These are the representation of the edges. A digraph or directed graph as shown in the figure consists of directed edges from 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 6 and 6 to 7. So these all are the directed graph or the edges of the directed graph. So this is about the directed graph. Then definitions of a graph. A directed graph is said to be strongly connected if for every pair of distinct vertices there is a directed path from vertex to a very another vertex. It is also referred as a complete graph. So the digraph as well as undirected directed graph and undirected graph, to measure it we have a formula known as n into n minus 1 edges for the digraph, that is the directed graph, and for the undirected graph n into n minus 1 by 2. So for an example, if we have a 4 coordinate vertices 1, 2, 3, 4 and every coordinate is touching to the another, then it is called as a complete graph. Here a completed undirected graph is n into n minus 1 by 2 edges. That means here n equal to 4. 4 into 4 minus 1 equal to 4 into 3 by 2 equal to 12 by 2 equal to 6 edges. 6 edges are shown here, and for the digraph, a complete digraph with n vertices, that is n into n minus 1 edges. Here n equal to 4, therefore 4 into 4 minus 1 equal to 4 into 3, that equal to 13 edges. So totally the 12 edges. So 4 into 3 is 12, so totally 12 edges in the directed graph, whereas in an undirected graph it is only the 6 edges. So here it is a cycle. Cycle is represented by the coordinates of same vertex. If a cycle is a simple path that begins and ends at a same vertex, it is considered as a cycle. So here V1, V2, V4 and V1 is a cycle of length 3. V2, V3, V4, V2 is a cycle of length 3. So these are the cycles. Then comes to the definitions in graphs. A graph is called as a connected graph if there exists a path from any vertex to any other vertex, then it is called as a directed graph. A graph, connected graph. A graph is said to be strongly connected if every pair of distinct vertex there is a directed path for every vertex. Then comes to a null graph. If a graph without any vertices, then it is called as a null graph, and a graph is said to be a subgraph of another graph if all the vertices and edges are available in the another graph. It is called as the then subgraph. Then it's an example we are going to show. It is a graph and the subgraphs here are a particular point, we can say it as a subgraph. 1 to 2 a line is drawn, it is a subgraph. 1, 2, 3 it's a L-shaped line is drawn, it is part of the previous shown graph G1. So a subgraph of G is a graph of G1 such that V of G1 is a subset of V of G and E of G1 is a subset of E. So here a square we taken 1, 2, 3, 4, it is a subgraph. 1, 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, it is a subgraph. A triangle is taken, it is also a subgraph. 1, 2, 3 coordinates with the coordinates. So once again a subgraph is a graph of G1 such that V of G1 is a subgraph of V of G. So this is the main graph where we are divided into subgraphs. So V1 to V2, V2 to V4 is a subgraph. Here once again I am showing you a graph G is a graph G1. So one is a point, that is also subgraph, and is all these 6, 3 plus 3, 6, all these 6 all the subgraphs of the graph which I shown earlier. Then degree of the vertex, the total degree, number of the edges linked to a vertex is called its degree, and the in degree of a vertex is total number of edges coming to a node, and the out degree of a node is the total number of edges going out of that particular node. Then a vertex with which has only outgoing edges and incoming edges is called as a source. So here we are going to discuss about the degree of vertex, the number of edges a particular vertex has, that is considered as a degree, and there are two types of degree calculations. One is in degree and another is the out degree. In degree, the we have degree of the vertex having incoming edges and no outgoing edges, it is called as a sink. And when an in degree of a vertex is 1 and out degree of is 0, then such a vertex is called as pendant vertex. When the degree of a vertex is 0 and it is isolated vertex, and it is called as an isolated vertex. So these are the different terms in the vertex, degree of vertex. One is the sink, another is the pendant vertex, another is the isolated vertex. Then self edge or self loops. If a vertex is with looped to itself, it is called as a self edge or self loop. A edge of a form v comma v is known as a self edge or self loop. Self edge or self loop is given as a graph with self loop. So this is about the self edge or self loop. Next comes to the multi graph. A graph with multiple occurrences of the same edge is known as multi graph. An example of a multi graph is given here. The coordinates 1 to 3, there are 3 different coordinates, and to 1 to 4 there are 2 different coordinates. Then this type of graph which you are seeing on the screen is called as the multi graph. Then comes to the trees. A tree is a connected graph without any cycle, and the graphs are not trees as they are contain cycle. So if it is contain a cycle, it is called as a graph, it is not called as a tree. And a tree is a graph without any cycle. Cycle means a closed circle. Here 0 to 1, 0 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, this is a tree, and 0 is the root node, and the leaf nodes are 1 to 2, and for 2 again 2 leaf nodes are there, 3 and 4. So this is a tree. A tree is a connected graph without any cycle. So here we are not going to have any closed figure. It does not have any cycle. If 0 to 1 and 1 to 2 there is a path, means it will become a cycle, then it won't be a tree, it will be a graph. So the major difference between a tree and a graph is graph will have a cycles. It can cycles can be there in a graph, whereas in a tree there is no chance of having any type of a cycle. A tree is a connected graph without any cycles. So a graphs are not trees as they contains cycle. It is shown here, the diagram shown here is a graph, it is not a tree. Since we have a cycle here at the starting, that is 0 to 1, 1 to 2 and 2 to 0, again it is a closed one. So it is a cycle, and this particular graph having cycle, so it is not considered as a tree. If there won't be any path between 1 to 2, then we can say it is a tree. So the major difference, you have to understand what is the difference between a graph and a tree. Then comes to the isomorphic graphs. A graph can exist in different forms having the same number of vertices, edges and same edge connectivity. Such graphs are called as isomorphic graphs. So these are the isomorphic graphs where you can have a connectivity between the edges. So let's take a two graphs G1 and G2, and if they, how we can say they are the isomorphic, means based on these conditions, the conditions are the number of components, vertices and edges should be same and their edge connectivity should be retained. So the next the two graphs are there, we can say whether they are isomorphic or not. Let's see the example so that you can understand what is an isomorphic graphs. See, a graph 1 is there and graph 2 is there. There are two graphs. Graph 1, it is a square, and graph 2 also having the 4 coordinates, but it is not a square. Then here the vertices are 4, edges are 4, so the paths are 4. So here it is a graph. The same number of paths, same number of vertices, same number of edges are there. So it is a isomorphic graph. So graph 1 and graph 2 are both are identical. Then we are saying it as an isomorphic graph. So you might have understood what is the isomorphic graph. Isomorphic graph is a comparison between two different graphs. We are going to compare two different graphs, and based on it we can say this is a isomorphic graph. So if G1 equal to G2, then we can say this is as a isomorphic graph. Modulus of V of G1 equal to V of G2, then that is nothing but we are calculating the vertex, and when comparing the vertex of G1 and vertex of G2, if they both are same, then we are saying it as an isomorphic graph. Then edges we are comparing, modulus of E of G1 equal to modulus of E of G2, then we are comparing that both edges G1 and G2, and then we are saying it as an vertex, it is an isomorphic graph. Then degree sequences of G1 and G2 are same. If G1 degree and G2 degree are both are same, then we are going to say it as a vertex. Then planar graphs. A graph G is said to be a planar if it can be drawn on a plane or a sphere so that no edges cross each other at a non-vertex point. At a non-vertex point, if the edges are not crossed, then it is called as a planar graph. A planar graph G is said to be a planar. So here in the diagram you can see this is a planar graph 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4 and 4 to 1 is a by this path of 1 to 5 we can say it as a planar graph. So till now we discussed about a directed graph, undirected graph, planar graphs, and now about the spanning trees. A spanning tree of a graph G equal to V comma G is a connected subgraph of G having all vertices of G and no cycles in it. If the graph G is not connected, then there is no spanning tree of G. A graph may have multiple spanning trees. So here the graph will have multiple spanning trees. That means a particular graph we can divide into different spanning trees. See here as an example we are showing a graph with a square and a triangle 1, 2, 3, a triangle 1, 2, 3, 2, 3 to 1 it's a triangle, then 2 to 3, 5, 4 it's a square. A combination of square and a triangle, we are saying it as a connected graph. We taken it as an example to identify regarding it. Then this is the spanning tree. So 1 to 2, 4 to 2, 1, 3, 4. This is a spanning tree. And we can form 3 to 4 spanning trees in a particular graph shown there. So spanning tree, if there are weights, if we calculate all these spanning trees, then we can say that spanning tree is a what type of spanning. To find the minimal spanning tree we use that type of formula. Okay, spanning tree, another spanning tree we are seeing here 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 5, 5 to 4. This is also a spanning tree which came from that particular original tree. Based on that particular original tree we derived this tree as a spanning tree. Then 1 to 3, 3 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 5. This is also a spanning tree where we can see the path of the tree. So this is about the spanning tree. So in particular, first spanning tree we seen around, we derived around 3 different spanning trees, and to find the total or a minimum spanning tree, this is the major concept from the spanning trees. We are going to find the minimal spanning tree. The cost of the graph is the sum of the cost of edges in a weighted graph. A spanning tree of a graph G equal to V comma G is called a minimum cost spanning tree, or simply minimum spanning tree of G if its cost is minimum. That means we are from a particular graph we are going to divide it different spanning trees, and based, that means from one graph we, let's take this graph as an example of a triangle 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 1 to 2 the weight is 5, 2 to 3 the weight is 9, 3 to 1 the weight is 10. So this is a particular graph with edges E1, E2, E3, vertices V1, V2, V3. It's a closed graph. So based on this, first we are going to write the spanning trees. That means we will remove one line. That this is spanning tree 1, T1, that is 1 to 2 and 2 to 3. So the weights are there 5 and 9, and we are going to calculate these two weights 5 and 9. 5 plus 9 equal to 14. The value of T1 is the value of this particular spanning tree is the 14. So we are calculating the minimum cost of the particular spanning tree, that is 14. Next we are going to T2. This is the graph with 1 to 3 and 3 to 2. The value of 1 to 2 to 3 is 9, 3 to 1 is 10. So the minimum spanning tree is 19. Then T3 we are calculating 1 to 2, 1 to 3, 5 and 10. The cost of the spanning tree is 15. 5 plus 10, that is 15. The T3 is 15. So if we want, the T1 is 5 plus 9, 14. So every spanning tree we have to calculate, and after calculating all the spanning trees, which spanning tree we are getting the less value, that is considered as the minimal spanning tree. So here T1, T2, T3 values we calculated. T1 equal to 5 plus 9 equal to 14, T2 equal to 10 plus 9 equal to 19, T3 equal to 5 plus 10 equal to 15. The minimal spanning tree is T1. Since the value of the T1 is 14, which is lesser than other two spanning trees. Next comes to the binary trees. One of the most important tree structure is the binary tree. A binary tree is a tree that has nodes either empty or not more than 2 child, each of which may be a leaf node. Here this is nothing, this is a binary tree where we are going to calculate the most important tree structure, that is the binary tree. Here the example of a binary tree 1 to 2. 1 is the parent or root node. It has 2 children 2 and 3, and 2 has another 2 children 4 and 5, and 3 has another children 6 and 7. A simple example of binary tree is Indian family planning system. In India there will be 2 children or only a single children. The same formula here also, a root node, a parent node should have at least 2 or a single. So here this is the left skewed binary tree 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4. So different types of binary trees are there. The rule is only one. It should have at least 1 children, or it can have 2 children, not more than 2 children. So this is the right skewed binary tree. Every parent has a single child. That means 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4. This is an hierarchy. Okay. So this type right side, if we have, it is called as right skewed binary tree. And this is the complete binary tree. A parent has 2 child 2 and 3, and 2 has 2 child 4 and 5, 3 has 2 child again 6 and 7, 4 has 2 child 8 and 9, 7 has 2 child 10 and 11, where 5 and 6 are the nodes without any children. So here, as per the rules of the binary tree, it should have at least, it can have a child, 1 child or 2 child, not more than 2. So this is a complete binary tree. Thank you. Thank you.